Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Chodge Talk. Today we're here because, well, of course you know why you clicked on the goddamn video. Green Bay hired a new head coach, Matt Lafleur. And I just kind of wanted to go over and kind of give my opinion. Kind of go through what he's done in the past, what he's projected towards, and we'll see if he's going to be a decent head coach. I'll give my final take at the end. Alright, so Matt Lafleur's real story kind of starts in Washington from 2010 to 2013 as their quarterback's coach. So he coached RG3 during that incredible rookie season, and then Kirk Cousins after RG3 couldn't basically go because Mike Shanahan kind of ruined his career because he's throwing him in during a playoff game when his knee's already fucked. So, you can't really blame Lafleur for that, but yeah. And then he moved in 2015 to the Atlanta Falcons, and he was there under Kyle Shanahan, Mike's son, and he was there for Matt Ryan's best season, which the Shanahan gets more of the credit for. But I mean, it was Matt Ryan's MVP season. It's the best he's ever looked, and it's probably the best he's ever going to look. So you got to give him some props for that. And then after that, he got signed to the LA Rams as their offensive coordinator. Now he's getting a lot of flack for this because, yes, and it's true, he was Sean McVay's little bitch. He had really no, from what I've heard / read, he had no real offensive input. I won't say real offensive input, but I would say, I think it's kind of obvious now that he didn't call any plays. That's Sean McVay's job. Sean McVay was the real mind behind the offense, and I'm sure Lafleur had his inputs, but he was not the main guy. And then after one season with the LA Rams, he did the unthinkable and made a lateral move to the Tennessee Titans. Now, the reason why he did this was because he was confronted by Tennessee and was asked if he wanted to be the head coach of Tennessee. He eventually lost that job out to Vrabel, and then Tennessee reached out again to the Rams, asking, "Hey, do you mind if we interview Lafleur again for our our offense coordinator job?" McVay talked to Matt about this. Basically said, I'm going to be running this offense, and I want you to flourish, all that jazz, McVay's a nice guy, yada, yada, yada. And Matt eventually went over to the Tennessee Titans. And there's where I kind of want to really get into it, because this is his first real, hey guys, I'm doing things now. So with that, my main takeaway, it took him 13 weeks to realize that Derrick Henry's a good running back. I'm not entirely sure how good I feel about that. And then, the Titans offense didn't look that great, although a couple people like D'Angelo Hall and then Schrager from Good Morning Football have said that he's one of the only coordinators that will adapt to the player or personnel that he has and not force a system on him. So for the Titans, for instance, Mariota's not a great quarterback, and so he altered the offense towards running, as that's what we see from the stats. They were 25th in total offense around the NFL, 29th in passing, and 7th in rushing. And as every Green Bay fan knows, I'm a big fan of Aaron Jones. He needs the ball at least 20 times a game. And so, 7th in rushing, I'm not too displeased with that. Especially when you just have Dion Lewis and then Derrick Henry. And with those stats, we got to remember that Mike McCarthy, when he was first hired, he was the offensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers in 2005. And in passing and total offense, he was ranked 32nd. So that doesn't mean that if you have not a great personnel on offense and you are the OC, you do have a chance to win a Super Bowl in 5 years, as Mike McCarthy did in 2010. So you can't really take those stats, as a whole. All right, well, if he can't do it there, he definitely can't do it here. He definitely has a chance to adapt, which I'm hoping is what he does. Allegedly, according to Peter Schrager from Good Morning Football, and I think he writes for CBS. I don't know. One of y'all have to write down in the comment section below if I'm just making that up. Anyways, the biggest thing I kind of want to bring up, especially with a young head coach, is what do they do on the side of the ball that they don't understand as much. And yes, I don't want anyone in the comment section below to be like, well, to understand offense, you have to understand how defensive concepts are made up and all that shit. I want to know what Lafleur is going to do, because he's clearly an offensive mind, what he's going to do on the defensive front. So it looks like, from all the reports I'm seeing, is that Mike Pettine is still going to remain the DC at Green Bay. And yes, we dramatically improved to the 12th ranked passing defense, although those numbers are inflated due to the Buffalo and Miami game. We're the 18th defense overall and then 22nd rushing. And yes, you can attribute that to, Mike Daniels being injury prone, Nick Perry being on IR, but that's where Nick Perry normally is, so it's not really a big deal. and then Muhammad Wilkerson going down. Okay, yeah, fine. So we lost a good amount of D tackles, but I mean, Kenny Clark balled out. I mean, I've been the number one advocator for we should have drafted Miles Jack over Kenny Clark a couple drafts ago, but I mean, Kenny's proven me wrong, and I've never been happier for it. I mean, I just wish that, we could actually stop anyone on third down. But anyways, so my biggest problem with Mike is, besides the actual stats, is that it took trading Hocklendix, it took Kentrell Brice getting injured, and it took Jermaine Whitehead getting cut that week, or the week after we traded away Hocklendix, and our Brian G coming out and being like, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure our safeties are trending upward, and then one gets injured and then you cut the other. To realize that Josh Jones is the best safety that we have besides Hocklendix at the time. I mean, according to basically people I've seen on Twitter and a couple other Green Bay fan Instagram accounts or whatever, he's on track to be most improved player of the year in competition with Kyler Fackrell, who was on pace to beating Khalil Mack at one point in sacks. So it's kind of like a player evaluation thing. I think we drafted pretty well, but I don't know. Some of the personnel decisions I'm seeing, it's not great. For instance, going back to the Josh Jones, Kentrell Brice, and Jermaine Whitehead. Pro Football Focus's rating for Josh Jones is a 61.7, which is average. Kentrell Brice is a 51, and Jermaine Whitehead was a 56.8. So even Pro Football Focus agrees with me. And that's even with Josh Jones only playing special teams for, half to majority of the year. I don't know. I would have played Josh the entire year, but that's me, and there's a reason why I'm commenting and making a YouTube video with 16 subs compared to Mike Bettine, who's making a couple mil, or a couple $100,000 to be a DC. So who's really winning in this situation? So kind of an overall, what I think is going to fuck up this team more is how Brian G not creates players, it's not Madden, but constructs a team around Matt Lafleur to essentially flourish, to attempt to create a play on words. But, I mean, I don't know, guys. I'm not excited. I still want a Josh McDaniels. I just love that genius behind Aaron Rodgers. But I mean, we'll see. I hope it all works out for the best. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. Also drop a sub. It'd really help me out. And then, if you have any questions, concerns, or comments, leave them in the comment section down below. Alright guys, I'm going to try to create more college football content, especially since my volunteers are trending upward, using Brian G's words. And alright y'all, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.